Hello? I guess I'm going to type in here. If you can hear me, say something in the chat. Looks like Rob is here. What's up, Rob? All right, Cato. All right. Lem Cool, Hot Branch. What's up? All right. So we have some people in here. It looks like we have 4 people. Can you hear? I can't hear you for some reason. Can you guys hear me? Can anybody hear me? All right. All right, Rob. All right. We have 5 people in here now. Looks like 4 more people than I thought. 6 more people than I thought. The video was muted for some reason. Jax. Oh, Jax is in the house. So we're going to carry on, Jax, with business as usual here. 30 seconds late. Shaking my head. Yes. All right. So I'm going to carry on now. And we're going to start with a word of prayer for those people. We only have 6 people in the house here on live stream. But for the people that are going to see this when I upload it, because I'll put some information that you might want to see later in here. So we're going to do something a little bit different. We're going to start off with a word of prayer from a book that I haven't read from before. So let us remember. In the name of the and the A. All right. Be not thou envious. This is Proverbs chapter 24:1. Be not thou envious against evil men, neither desire to be with them. 2, for their heart studieth destruction, and their lips talk of mischief. Amen. St. John Baptist de La Salle, live Jesus in our hearts. And we are, in the name of the A. All right, so we have 8 people in here now. Pray for us forever, called to serve Father, Son, and the A. Very good. Yeah, there's a bit of delay there. So I guess what I'm going to do is I'm just going to keep talking as if this were a regular class here. I'm going to go from 9:30 to 10 o'clock. I'm going to try to do this every day this week and test it out. Let's play some music here. See if I can get a strike from the overlords at YouTube for playing music while I'm doing this. So I'm just going to carry on here as if this were a normal day at class, you know, how I usually stream from my basement in class. We have 9 people in the house now. So here's what we're going to do. Get business out of the way first. There's going to be a new post on Moodle today or tomorrow, more than likely today after lunch if I get a chance, although some of you know that my wife and I had a baby, and plans kind of go out the window now that you have a little one running around. We sleep for an hour at a time, in hour intervals, because the baby will wake up like every 45 minutes crying for food or to be held or to be changed. So sometimes when I say I'm planning on doing something, I fall asleep and don't wake up for a long time. So I'm planning on having some work by the end of the day on Moodle, in addition to the post that you guys already have that's going to be due this Friday. So I'm going to add another assignment that's going to be due Friday as well. So now we have 10 people in the house. Alex, congrats. Thanks, man. Thanks. I appreciate it. It's pretty crazy. So now back to some more stuff here. When you're turning stuff in the L drive, if you're having trouble with it connecting and submitting correctly, like I've had some students do this, just try to submit it again or just send me an email and let me know. Check PowerSchool. Check PowerSchool and make sure that I have. Thanks, McKinney. Appreciate it. It's pretty crazy. Little baby running around. Check PowerSchool, make sure that I have the grades updated correctly. Make sure that I'm up to date. For some reason, sometimes when I'm on the LaSalle network on my laptop, it disconnects. And if you submit something it doesn't refresh and update itself. So I might put the grades in even though you submitted something and I just didn't get it because it didn't upfresh. I was accidentally disconnected and didn't know it. So just make sure I have everything up to date. I've put the grades in currently. Let me use my social distancing hanky. I put the grades in and update them. They should be updated right now. I've put the new assignment in PowerSchool for the next project that I'm going to upload to Moodle today. I just woke up a little earlier. You can see that I look a little tired. I haven't slept much at all, and I'm growing a pet mustache just for the heck of it. So I've got an agenda here of things I'm going to get through on this live stream. Again, for those of you that are just popping in, we got 10 people in the house. All right. I'm going to go from 9:30 to 10 o'clock every day this week and test it out and see how well it's doing. If it's something that you guys find useful. If the numbers dwindle to nobody, I'm not going to do this anymore, but I'm going to try to keep it up. As long as you guys keep showing up, I'll keep doing it. I'm all for the stash. Thanks, Jax. Appreciate it. It looks pretty crappy. The only way I'm able to grow it right now is because I find comfort in the fact of knowing that I'm not going out into public so nobody can actually see it, so I won't get embarrassed for walking around. In the past, I've tried to grow this, but when my wife has me go out with her to Target or Starbucks or whatever, wherever, those are like the only places we go, I get embarrassed because it looks awful, so I end up shaving it, but I'm going to see how long I can keep it going. So now here's the clipboard that I walk around in class with. I brought it home, so I've got it now. I also happen to be growing a mustache and a beard. Yeah, you guys should be doing that. You should all grow those out. That's a good idea. Grow those out and take pictures and send them with your work. Upload them with your work so I can see the nice beards and mustaches that are being sprouted across America now that you guys can grow them. So back to the agenda here. The album of the week is back. I used to do that in class, and I stopped doing that. The album of the week, Erskine Hawkins. This is The Hawk Blows at Midnight. I'll be playing this later on in the week. I don't have it uploaded right now to my iPod. I might just bring my record player up here and play it while I'm doing these live streams. That would be a lot better and a lot easier. So I'll probably bring my record player behind me and set it up and play stuff if I don't get any copyright strikes. All right, so Beard Gang, amen. Hashtag Beard Gang. You have to trust the process. So now moving forward, I said album of the week is back. Check. I'm going to start a Corona playlist where I'm going to add a song a day just because I get bored. I'm just going to add a song every day to this playlist, and I'll post it in the description. Mainly old rock songs. Man, this is like the first time I can see myself here and in the live stream, and I look bizarre. I look more tired than I ever have in my life, and this mustache is a little wild west. Cato says Erskine Hawkins, man, one of the best big band. Hey, all right, Cato, add another reason to the list why you're one of the coolest kids in school. Right there, Erskine Hawkins. Know about him, man. One of the best big band. You got that right. And if you guys have seen Nolan, hey, what's up, Nolan? The gang's all here. Yes. Welcome. And if you guys have seen the PBS documentary called Jazz, I don't know if Erskine Hawkins is on that, but speaking of big bands, you've got Count Basie. I'm sure Cato knows about that guy, and then Duke Ellington, one of my favorite. I mean, as far as big band, I like big band, but Duke Ellington and Count Basie right there, those are my favorite. Blazers in the house. You look like Daniel Boone. Yeah, this is my my trapper hat. This is my dad's old trapper hat. One of the many things that I've got from him. I like wearing it. It's pretty warm now that I don't have any hair in the morning, even though it is, what month is this? April? It's April. I still get pretty cold because your hair keeps you pretty warm in the especially when you're sleeping in the morning, and I don't have that locking in the heat, so I got to wear this. And as far as this goes, I've got an extensive hat collection that I'm going to try to wear a different hat every day. And you got the horns up there. So I'm going to bring those into class and probably strap them onto my back once we get back, if we get back to class. If we get back to class, the 21 school year, the 22 school year, 23, whatever it is when we go back, wear the horns. I'm going to do that. All right. So starting Corona playlist, I'll put that in the description. I'm going to add a song every day. What have I been doing? I just, to fill up a half an hour, I put down a little list of things to talk about here. What I've been doing. Like I said, I don't sleep. I wake up in the morning if I happen to go to sleep, and it used to be at 3:30 I would wake up, but now since I don't sleep on a regular schedule, I try to not sleep past 4 o'clock. So I've got my coffee pot set up at 4 o'clock, and I drink a cup of coffee. I come down here and I read. Right now, I'm reading Jack Kerouac, Maggie Cassidy. This is a very good book. He wrote I don't know if that's backwards or forwards. It looks like that is backwards and it's hard to read. But he wrote a book, famous for a book called On the Road, describing the beatnik generation in the 40s and the 50s. If you don't know anything about Jack Kerouac, it's a great artist, great author. So back to the routine here. Pretty much I read until the sun comes up. And when the sun starts to come up, I've got a little nice secluded parking spot down by the Ohio River. I just get in my car before my wife wakes up. I go down there, I read. And before you guys went on this break, I remember saying you should take this time and utilize it and learn something new. And what I'm trying all kinds of different things. Something on that list of many things to do is how to write a short story. So I'll go by the river and just quiet seclusion in my car in a parking spot where there's nobody around. I can see the houses on the hills, the giant Yellowknife Bridge. I just watch cars. I sit there and I'm trying to learn how to write short stories for no reason, just other than it's a challenge. It's hard to do. And it's brand new to me. I like the brand new challenge of trying something that I suck at. I'm so bad. It is really hard to write a short story. And I like struggling through something new until I'm able to actually craft it into something. We've got 11 people. So I go there and then I come back here and then I will eat oatmeal or make some eggs or whatever. And then I go on a walk down the hill outside. And I go on a probably hour walk. And then after that, my routine's pretty much, it ends there. And then I just check up on emails and school stuff. And if I don't fall asleep, feed the baby, change a poopy diaper, which I haven't done yet. My wife is doing all that. Looks like wear the horns. Yes. And then Alex, nice face. Matthew Newland, Oldwater, what's up? Are you still working on the storybook? The storybook is at school. It's on my computer. I've got the flash drive right here that has it on there, but I don't really have anything to draw it on. I am absolutely working on the storybook. I can get back to some things that I'm learning too, because the storybook's going to have to continue when we go back to school. But also, in addition to trying to learn how to write short stories, I'm trying to learn how to do watercolors. So let's see here without the glare. So Van Gogh, Cezanne, Modigliani, Manet, Monet. My favorite painters all have painting portraits of some guy with a pipe. So I figured I'm going to try to learn how to do some watercolors with a guy with a pipe. So I finished this last week. I'm going to start another one today. I went down to, I believe it's Newport, Kentucky, and took some pictures with my wife and my daughter, in the alleyways. They have some interesting alleyways there. I took some pictures. I'm going to paint those. I'm going to start that today when I'm done with this. And hopefully by the end of the week, I'll have it. I can show you guys, or next week I'll have it done. Lazenchek, Auski, Menitis, Slovakia, Steve Dave. I really should have collected my robot before we left. Yes, if you guys left anything on your computers, I think I said this. I think I told you guys before we left, although it was without 100% certainty, that we weren't coming back to school this year. LaSalle's position is that we might, because we don't know for certain. But if you guys are paying attention to the news, you know the likelihood of us going back to school is very low. Hopefully it happens. So going back to what I've been doing, I said that. Oh yeah. So some of you that have had me in the past in class know that we do Pepper Fridays. I'm gonna start if this becomes something. I'm gonna start doing Fresh Fruit Fridays where I've got my orange right here. We all can join in at a certain time and eat some fruit together. One of the few things that we can do together, even though virtually, not in person. But moving forward, news headlines. That's one of the things I had on here to do is read the headlines, but I don't want to do that. I've been trying to stay away from headlines because they're extremely depressing, and it's best not to watch the news. Cato says we aren't supposed to peak before mid-May, and the governor said schools won't return until we pass that. So RIP school, I guess. Yes, and just like I was telling my wife, when we tell our daughter something, if she wants to go play at the park or go on a walk, we'll tell her, yeah, maybe if we might do that after lunch, we might do that later. We don't want to tell her right away no, because then she'll start crying and be upset. So I think the president and the governors of the states and of the country are giving us sort of optimistic due dates of when things are going to get bad and get back to normal. But if you are reading the news in other countries, say China, if you can believe anything that's coming out of China, they were supposedly getting better. And now there's been a spike in cases, if you can even believe that. But if you do follow the news across the world, across the globe, the countries that have gone through this before we got into the thick of it, just track their course and where they're at right now. This is not going away for a while. And like Cato said there, and this isn't LaSalle's official position, this is just strictly from me, we'll be lucky to go back to school next year. That's my opinion. Now, I want to go back now. You guys know that I was upset in class for us not having any snow days. This is sure I'm making up for them. I'm sick of it. I'm over it. I want to get back to school, but I don't think that's going to happen for a long while. And Lazen Czechowski, Menitis, Slovakia, Steve Dave said, apple a day keeps the corona away. That's true. I'm ordering groceries now from Kroger with my wife where they will just bring them to the house and drop them off. So you don't have to go to the store because I don't want to dip into my supplies right now. I've got I'm in the basement right now, and that's the basement door. Back in there in the storage room, it's full of canned goods and stuff, and I don't want to have to dip into that until it's absolutely necessary, just in case things go crazy. You guys have seen, maybe you have, maybe you haven't, but in the news in New York City, in the city, a lot of department stores and businesses are boarding up their windows with plywood because they anticipate civil unrest and riots and stuff. And if you've been paying attention to the food lines, there are people lined up around the block waiting for hours for food because they don't have any money and they don't have any food at the food banks. And if you look at China, people are waiting in line for hours for urns for their loved ones' ashes and for grave sites. It's nothing to joke about. It's getting serious. And yeah, that's back to what Lausen Czechowski said. Matthew Cato, what do you mean like we are going to school in May? Apple a day keeps the corona away. Yeah. Oh, what I was saying is I don't have any apples because we had somebody from Kroger bring our groceries. And if you're not shopping for yourself, if you're at Kroger, you're shopping for somebody else. You don't necessarily care about the quality of their groceries. We got some crappy apples. She brought them in to our house, and I brought them upstairs. They had brown spots all over them. They were already rotten. So we paid like $4 for a bag of rotten apples. So I'm just going to have to do an orange a day. Lazen Czechowski, Menitis, Slovakia, Steve Dave, if this cuts into my senior school activities, I'm going to be peeved. Rob, the best way to avoid being peeved all at once is to just space it out and flatten the curve. Start to get peeved now. Cato, we might, but it's unlikely. Right. Yes. The only good thing about this is that we're all going through it together. That's it. That's it. Braun, didn't LaSalle post a new schedule? Yes, they did, but and I don't want to say anything more about that because I'm just speaking from my personal feeling that this isn't going to be over for a long time. The school does what it has to do. It has to be ready for it. Say we go back to school tomorrow, they have to be ready for that. They have to be ready. So they're going to be ready, and you can count on them being ready for whenever we go back to school. LaSalle, when I say they, I mean me and us. We will be ready. Lazenchek, Auskiman, Ida Slovakia, Steve Day, next school year schedule. The only reason we start late next year is construction. Initially, yes. We had a later start because of the construction. Hopefully, I haven't been to the building because my state line is unofficially blocked off. I'm supposed to stay where I'm at right now. I'm in Kentucky. I can't go to school. I hope the construction starts soon. Lemcool, Hot Branch for now. William McKinney, welcome to the quarantine era. Yeah, buddy. This is sci-fi at its scariest. But I was in the book that I was reading, I wrote this quote down. And this book right here, it says something to the effect, I wrote half the quote down. The more ups and downs, the more joy you experience in life. And the more fear you experience, the more happiness you will experience. So it's the whole yin-yang feeling, the whole yin-yang theory, but it's true. I watch Survivor a lot, and imagine this: if you're watching Survivor, the people that are stranded on the beach, they're essentially quarantined, and they're taken away from their daily routine, and they are cut off from all the conveniences that we have or that we had in this country. So if you're watching and they're there for 2-3 weeks, the people dream about cheeseburgers and they dream about pizza. So what I'm saying is, I just lost my train of thought, but I got it back. This is from a lack of sleep. But what I'm saying is, if you're out on the beach and you don't have access to, say, pizza for 3-4 weeks at a time, can you imagine once you get that pizza and you can watch their reactions to getting food? They are overjoyous. It's because they haven't had it. When you take that away and your living conditions go down, once you return to normal, it's overjoyous. If you're just used to getting that all the time, it's not as great. So I said earlier, the one good thing about this is that we're all going through it together. But I guess another good thing is about it, this is so awful that when we return to normal, we will be able to appreciate everything that we were able to take advantage of. And sometime in the beginning of the year, I remember I put this into a lot of prayers. Thank you, Lord, for the things that we are able to take advantage of. And I mean that. And that's what I meant by that, is the things that we do take advantage of and miss the most. Once we get back to that, we will be able to appreciate that. So I think Thomas Jefferson said the tree of freedom is fed with blood, something to that effect. It's very true. And I can sort of twist that to make sense in this. We are able to appreciate the things that we are able to take advantage of on a daily basis when those things are taken away from us. So that's another good thing. Once we get back to normal, if that happens, we will be, hopefully, as a society, ever grateful for the daily routine that we have, that we're able to go out and see people. Roller, I'm peeved. Yeah, Laz and Czechowski, Manida, Slovakia. There you go. We have 11 of people in the house. This is very good. 9:53. You got 7 minutes left, and I haven't even gone through this stuff. Again, make sure you guys tune in 9:30 every day. I'm just going to do this till 10 o'clock every day. And like I said, for the people that weren't here, check Moodle by the end of the day today or in the morning. I'm going to post a new assignment that's due Friday. It'll be the last one of the week. So you have the one that I posted on Thursday of last week and the new one today. So you'll have 2 assignments that are due on Friday. And again, if I don't have the updated grades and they're not correct, make sure you double check those and let me know with an email. Let's see. I will email you if I'm missing assignments. So some of you that were missing assignments, I emailed you. I'm going to do that. Oh, I need the social distancing hanky. Yeah, I've got a couple of agendas here that I'm just going to not be able to get through. I'm gonna try to post some things that I'm doing and some stuff for you guys if you're interested in. Like today, when I go on my walks, there's a bunch of for what I live in the country. So some of you people that know, if you live in the country, a lot of people will take junk out to old country roads, just dump it off. So when I'm going on these walks, I'm going down a giant hill next to a little creek where people take and drop off like skids and lumber. There's pieces of wood. So I pick them up and bring them back to the house, and I sand them off, get rid of the moss and the dirt. I let them sit out in the sun and dry. And I just make stuff like, say, benches or shelves and stuff. I can show you some of that in the future if this continues. But I'll try to have a couple interesting things in the future. One of the things that I do want to do is research the plants and the weeds that grow in everybody's backyard, because most weeds that grow in your backyard have advantages to them. And now that we don't have anything to do, it's a good time to research. Some of those plants are editable. You can eat them. So I'm going to try to pick a plant or a weed every day and research it and try to give you just like a 5-minute summary of that weed and maybe show it to you. Other things I want to do is just be able to sit in the backyard and listen to the birds chirp and be able to identify the birds based on their specific songs or tweets, however they sound, and be able to identify them in a sea of bird noises. I've always wanted to do that, and I think I'm going to take this time and learn how to do that. Looks like new comments. Cadel, none of my teachers have posted work for this week, so it would be good to have something to do from you. Okay, well, like I said, hopefully I will have that today. And Cadel is making a very cool, in computer animation 3ds Max, a very cool, if I can, next class, I'll pull this up on my iPad, the images that he sent me of a chess game that he's animating in a room. It looks like a study in a castle. It is amazing. He's got the walls made, the little room, the table, the chairs, the lighting, and the chessboard, and he's going to animate a chess animation. So as he sends me updates, I will pull that up on my iPad and show you. It's very cool. He is definitely using this time to create stuff, which I encourage everybody to do, aside from growing a mustache and a crappy beard. All right. Laz and check out Menitis. I have my first class conference call in 5 minutes in a push. All right. I'm not going to be doing any class conference calls. I'm just going to be doing these live streams. So if you guys need anything like that, if you want to set up a video chat, if you have any questions about any of the work that I've assigned, and you would want to video chat me, there's really no reason for you to do that. A simple email would work. You can do that. William McKinney, I feel like the COVID-19 will never go away. It probably won't. It'll probably turn into a weaker version of itself and become something that goes around the world. As when I say probably, I'm not a medical expert. I have no experience in the medical field whatsoever, and I'm completely just speaking off of speculation. It'll probably be something common like the cold or the flu and just start going around like that from what I've read and what I've heard. Lazar Chikowski, Menina, Slovakia. NGL, kind of dreading it because that means I'll have to talk to people. Yeah. Oh, no, it'll never fully leave. People will just develop. Yeah, right. Cato, it should be done tomorrow. It's taken over 6 hours to render so far. Wow. Wow. No rush. I didn't mean to say that to rush you. Lazar Chekowski, Menina, Slovakia, Steve Dave, are you using a desktop to make it or your laptop? I'm assuming that was a question for Cato. He's using his desktop, I would assume. You guys in 3ds Max, especially, for you to be able to do 3ds Max work inside of 3ds Max on your laptop at home without me is nearly, if not impossible. You absolutely need a mouse and you need a stronger computer. Your computers won't be able to handle much at all, and you absolutely have a mouse, or you absolutely need a mouse. So that's why the work that I'm doing is just making videos for you guys to watch me do stuff or other tutorials to do stuff, and then asking you questions about the process of doing what that new thing was. Because for you to be able to do this is, I'm going to say, about 98% simply impossible. These classes were never designed to be able to do at your laptop by yourself at home. Obviously, we never saw the pandemic coming, but 3ds Max, especially computer animation, for you to do this on your personal laptop at home without a mouse is impossible. Impossible. Not happening. Not happening. It's impossible. All right, moving on. Unfortunately, I don't have one, so I can't make anything on 3DS. Yeah, exactly. And this thing came about so quick. I think within a week we were out of school, and maybe even a half a week. Half the beginning of the week, the last week of school, we didn't even know if we were going to be dismissed. From what I remember, I think we found out on that Thursday. So there's no way we could have prepared for this and got everybody a mouse. I mean, the logistics of getting everybody a mouse in class 2 is like 150 people. That's not possible. So we're just going to do the best that we can with what we have moving forward until we can't do it anymore. Cato, it's done. Besides the rendering, I just want it at high quality. Of course you do, and you should. You should. I can't wait to show everybody this. I'm if I can't show everybody clearly on an iPad or something, I will upload it to my channel. The video that he sends me, if that's all right with him, I'll have to talk to him about that. I gotta blast the calls in a minute. Okay, see you, Rob. I'll catch up later with the rest of the video. Amen. There shouldn't be too much of it because it's 10:01. I should have stopped a couple minutes ago. I'll just get through these comments and then sum it up and then leave. We got 9 people, which is why it's taking 6 hours. GL, Robbie, I got a desktop because Micro Center was having. I love Micro Center. Very much okay with me. Awesome. Okay, so that's the first. We got 9 people. Hopefully within the next coming days, people will start to check Moodle and see that I'm doing this and check in here. If we get more people and I have too much to say and it doesn't fit in a half an hour, I'll extend it to an hour. And I'll get some different music to play, and I'll try to get things at least condensed. Aside from the schoolwork and class, create an atmosphere that's very similar to what we had in 315. So this is 315 at 9:30. Check back in here tomorrow at 9:30. Check Moodle, and that's it. Thank you guys for showing up. I wish we were back at school. I miss you guys. I'm just ready to get back to normal. And see ya.